What's going on, everybody? Sean Bowen, Mike Hogan down here at BMO Field as we bring you keys to the game as the Toronto Argos face off against the BC Lions this Saturday right here at BMO Field. Hoagie, I guess it's the next man up mentality as James Franklin's been placed on the 6-game injured list. It's McLeod Bethel-Thompson's time to start. What do you expect to see from number 4 as we go into Saturday?
Mac. I expect to see that anyway. I don't know if we'll see that or we'll see a more balanced attack, but McLeod Bethel-Thompson loves to throw the football. He's very good at it, and we saw when he was at his best last year. Think about the Ottawa game where they came from way back and ended up winning by a point on the last play of the game, second last play of the game. We saw what McLeod Bethel-Thompson could do. He can do that again on Saturday. He's got a better receiving core this year than he had a year ago, so the potential is there, and now we just have to see the Argonauts start to execute that potential.
Let's get into the battles of the trenches. The Toronto Argos are one of 2 teams who have not gained a sack this year. What changes defensively for this team moving forward?
Well, I don't know how much is going to be personnel, and it's just the scheme will be the same. And again, it's a word that we're going to use a lot until this team starts winning is execution. And if they can get a better pass rush, and they've got the guys to do it. We know what Sean Lemon can do when he's on. We know that Cleon Lang and whether it be Ken Bishop or Poop Johnson in the middle, being able to collapse the pocket. Then you've got on the other side, you've got the other Bishop and Freddie. You've got also Toby Antiga. You've got the potential there to get to the quarterback. They haven't been able to do that yet. If they start providing pressure, then the secondary all of a sudden doesn't have to cover for so long. So, and again, if the secondary covers better, then you get more time for the pass rush. It's a chicken and egg thing, but the potential is there for this team to come together. I'm still very confident in Corey Chamberlain's plan because we saw what it could do a couple of years ago.
One of the big changes this offseason was one of the biggest signings in league history, and that's Mike Riley leaving the Edmonton Eskimos and heading west, to the BC Lions. Hasn't been the start I think he's envisioned for this team. What has Mike Riley done differently this year, and what have you seen from him that you think they could be on the turn for the BC Lions?
Oh, he's still Mike Riley, and when
he's
you look at
he's still that gunslinger.
Absolutely. He's the guy. He's a great quarterback. You know, in many people's opinion, he's still the best quarterback in the league. He's working with a new system. He's working with some new receivers as well. It's going to take time. You look at the teams around the league. You take Hamilton out of the equation, and the teams that Hamilton beat have all had new head coaches as well. The teams are 1-9, I believe, that have new head coaches. So there hasn't been a team with a new head coach that's beaten a team with an established coach yet. So it takes time for these teams. And, you know, same thing here in Toronto. It's going to be like that for Mike Riley in BC. It's going to be like that for the group here in Toronto. I'm confident that this team can get it together because there's so much talent here and so much experience among the coaching staff in all 3 aspects that they've all seen losing streaks before. It's a veteran coaching staff. This will not be a surprise to them. They're not going to panic after 2 weeks.
Hoagie, let's get to our final topic here. Who wants it more? 0-3 BC Lions, 0-2 Toronto Argos. Let's look at the Argos here for a sec. Final home game of the month of July before they go out on the road for 3 straight. I mean, you don't want to call it a must-win, but it kind of feels like it is a must-win here on Saturday.
I'm sure it feels like that for BC as well. I mean, these are 2 teams that have not gotten off the way that they want. Both teams are capable of really big things, and you know, it's not necessarily the fact that they lost their first 2, but the way they lost their first 2 that might make this team here in Toronto a little bit hungrier. They're playing at home, and as you mentioned, they've got the road trip from hell coming up as they've got the 3 Western stops. I don't think it's a must-win. It's pretty close to it. This is a long season. 9-9 can get you into the playoffs. A 9-9 team can win the Grey Cup, like, I don't know, the 2017 Argos or the 2012 Argos.
Exactly.
It happens. But you can't fall too far behind. So I want to see the Argos play a lot better on both sides of the football. In fact, in all 3 aspects, I think it's more than capable of doing that. But in terms of desperation, both teams really need this win.
As the old saying goes, right? They don't hand no trophies in July.
Exactly.
We talked to the guys about playing through adversity, and none of these guys are hanging their head. They're excited for this Saturday as they take on the BC Lions. Mike Hogan will be on the broadcast on TSN 1050. You can find me at the Shipyard. Prior to the game, we'll be hanging out with you lucky fans as we're bringing you all the live action coming this Saturday as the Toronto Argos take on the BC Lions right here at BMO Field.